Philippines suffered enough under the hands and the rule of the Spanish colonizers, leading our countrymen and national heroes to fight for our liberty, dignity, and rights, not just for them but the future of the country and the generations to come. Some of our national heroes and the witnesses of the certain event wrote down in their account their raw experiences and what they witnessed in those events. However, there is one story that can get our attention, can capture our hearts and move our emotions and evoke our perspective. Santiago Alvarez was a Captain General of the Magdiwang troops of the Katipunan Provincial Council at Cavite and one of the leaders of revolution. Santiago Alvarez's account is the most reliable primary source in our perspective, with comprehensive, informative, credible, and convincing narrative and sentence structure. Santiago Alvarez had presented the chronological order of the happenings of the said meeting in Tejeros. Aside from the arrangement of the scenarios, the date when the memoir was written makes it obvious where it is earlier than the account of others. His account is comprehensive, informative, credible, and convincing. In his account, the raw evidence of the said events with good informative and comprehensive sentence structure and having concrete details about who, what, where, when, and why are present. According to him, the Assembly of Tejeros was convened on March 25, 1897 and was presided by Jacinto Lumberas. Santiago Alvarez also highlighted that seated with Lumberas were Supremo Andres Bonifacio, Mariano Alvarez, Pascual Alvarez, and many more. Chairman Jacinto Lumberas has declared the Assembly open, and he announced a discussion on how to bolster the defense in the areas still under Magdiwang control. But after, Severino de las Alas said that the important matter should tackle first of what form of government the Katipunan should have. Part of Santiago's memoir were the conflict between General Apoy and Antonio Montenegro from their arguments, and it was later resolved. The chairmanship of the meeting was transferred to Supremo Andres Bonifacio. Santiago Alvarez said that Andres Bonifacio announced that who gets the majority of the votes must be declared as the winner regardless of the person's state in life. One of the most interesting part of Alvarez's memoir was Mr. Diego Mojica, the Magdiwang Secretary of Treasury, when he warned the Supremo that many ballots distributed were already filled out. But Supremo Bonifacio had ignored an act and nothing had happened. After the counting, Emilio Aguinaldo won over Supremo Andres Bonifacio. For Vice President, Mariano Trias was elected. Mr. Mariano de Dios was elected as Secretary of War, and Supremo Andres Bonifacio won as the Secretary of the Interior. But Mr. Daniel Tirona wanted to replace Aguinaldo because of the Secretary of the Interior must have educational attainment, and he endorsed Mr. Jose de Rosario, the lawyer. But Andres Bonifacio stood up and said that they had agreed with the majority vote and accept by their choices no matter what is the status of the electee. Bonifacio pulled out his revolver and Mr. Tirona ignored the Supremo's remark and he slid away and get lost in the crowd. And later, Bonifacio adjourned the meeting. All of this scene was secretly written by Santiago Alvarez, which is believed to be the primary source and the most reliable account. Santiago Alvarez provided his concrete details with a viewpoint on the internal battle within the Katipunan.